Hello and welcome to a Photoshop tutorial for Design Fully templates. This is the template tutorial for the product mock-up black folio box on a green background. We are going to change the color of the green velvet to a bluish gray color, and I'll show you how to adjust it to pretty much any color you want, and how to place an image on the folio box. And you can change the image out anytime you want to. Make sure you preserve and save a copy of the original template so that you can go back and edit it whenever you want to. So we're going to take the image from this to this. Now why I chose this particular color for the velvet is because I wanted to match the overall tone and color of this couple in the image so that it enhanced the photograph that's in the folio box. Now you can use this template, use it to display your products that you offer, and you can change out the image so that every time you want to update it, you can have a new image in that particular template. So let's go ahead and delete this layer so I can show you how I achieved this look. I'm going to click on, in the layers panel, I'm going to click on the top layer, the only layer that's actually inside this template at the moment. And I want to make a copy of this layer. So go ahead and click on the layer and drag it down to duplicate layer. And turn off the bottom layer for now and click on the top layer of the folio box. And I want you to go to Image, Adjust to Hue and Saturation. And the top slider, keep it on, keep the drop down menu on Master, because we're going to actually change all the colors within this template rather than just one selective color. And on the slider for Hue, I want you to just slide it across both ways. You can see how the color of that velvet changes, and it gets to a really, oversaturated colors of the rainbow. But I like to actually desaturate this. So once I've picked the color that I want, and I'm going to go over to the right hand side of the hue slider and to the kind of like a blue, and then I'm going to go to the middle slider, which is saturation, and drag it over to the left. So I can take out the brightness of that blue, and I want to dull it down just a little bit. So it's almost like a blue-gray color. Then I'm going to click OK. And then I'm going to open up an image so that I can put it into the template. So I already have a picture picked out, this beautiful couple. And I'm going to click and drag it onto the template. Now in my layers panel, I'm going to click and drag it below the top layer, so it's now in the center between the original template and the adjusted color version of the template. If you're in the newest version of CS 2015, when you select your graphic, it actually has the bounding boxes and you don't have to go to edit to free transform to rotate. You can automatically just move the position of this image by moving your mouse over to any of the handles on the corners and rotate this image. Now, if you have an older version of Photoshop, go to Edit, Transform to Rotate. And then you can move your mouse over to the corners and rotate this image. And I'm trying to rotate it to it matches up to the alignment of the mat, and then click OK, or Return on your keyboard. Or you can remain here and go to Edit, Transform to Scale, and holding down the Shift key on your keyboard to constrain the proportions of the image, because otherwise if you do this, it's going to distort the integrity of the image. I'm holding down the Shift key so that it doesn't distort this image, and I'm bringing it into, so it's slightly behind the mat. If I bring it in too far, you're actually going to see the transparent background there, and it's kind of defeating the purpose. So just like an actual image on a mat, you want to place this, scale it down so it's just outside of the mat area and you don't see any of the transparent background. And once I have it in position, I now want to adjust the angle and distortion of the image so that it matches the angle of this mat. So I'm going to go to Edit so I want to match the angle of the mat, because you can see that it's slightly off, not parallel to this mat line right here. It's slightly off to the left. I'm going to bring this in so that it matches the angle of the photograph of the template. So go to Edit, Transform to Distort, and pull in the anchors on the corners so that you're lining up this line with the mat. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I actually like this little bit of minor detail so it looks a little bit more realistic, like you actually photographed this product with the image in it. So once you've aligned everything, go ahead and deselect that. I do want to apply it. All right. And then you want to flatten your image. Go to Layer to Flatten. And yes, discard the hidden layers because we're not using the green velvet anymore. And then go to File to Save As. So now you can save a copy of your image to use in all of your product marketing.